planty friends to Plant Heartbeats. Welcome to my living room. Today we have a project that I've been postponing and it's damaging my plant. Not good. So it's gonna be doing a moss pole for this beautiful humongous red emerald. As you can see, it came with a stake when I purchased it, and the plant was maybe around here when I purchased it. So it was already going off the pole just a bit, but before I knew it, this has happened. And I've already seen what's happening by not giving it a proper moss pole, is that as you can tell, the leaves are usually or were absolutely big and beautiful. But from here on, the leaves are not growing that big, and it keeps pushing out new leaves, but they're smaller. And look at here, it's falling over. So this plant is saying, help me, mama, help me. And mama has not done much for it. So I was waiting for spring so I could repot it in a bigger pot, because it's also in a pretty small pot. Being that there's like 4 different red emeralds in this one pot, and they're huge red emeralds, I know it has to be compacted with its roots. So I knew I needed to give it a new pot. And I was trying to figure out what kind of pole I was going to do for this. So this is my plan. Well, hopefully it'll work out. After considering whether I could just glue another piece of wood here, I was told that that was basically very hard and impossible, and the wood glue would not hold like I thought. So the next thing is, had this piece of PVC pipe laying around since I bought it to do some other moss poles, and this seems to be a very good size. Actually, it's already, the plant's bigger than this. Okay, so what I was thinking was, yes, it's gonna be bigger than this, but I'm probably just gonna propagate the plant, because of course there has to be a limit. So whatever exceeds this, I'm just gonna start chopping and propagating, but at least most of the plant can grab on and hopefully grow longer leaves. That's the plan. And I'm gonna give it a new soil, a mixture, fresh soil, and a bigger pot, and this will be able to have space to go right in the middle. So it's gonna be a tough job, because you see all these roots that are tangled and want, like, grabbing this pole here. I'm gonna have to gently remove it, and I'm a little bit scared. So will this hurt the plant? Will it give it a shock? I hope not. Yes, it's gonna give it a little shock, but hopefully it's gonna be something that, as this beautiful weather is coming along, it's gonna recover quickly. So yeah, I'll take you along and I'll show you little bits and pieces of how I do this moss pole. Let's do it before the sun sets. Okay, so I'm outside because this is a big project, obviously. I have a coat on because it's getting chilly. So far what I've done is I've gotten some of my orchid moss that I've used before, and I put some water in it. I've loosened it up so it looks good. I have all my fish wire that's all tangled up. It's going to be a project getting pieces off of it, but what are you going to do? You're not going to throw it away. I have a piece already ready for me, and this is the pole. So I'm going to get started, show you a little bit how I get started, and then we're going to do a fasty on this, okay? So let's get started. Gotta get my wire, well, it's not wire, it's fishing string. You can barely see it, so we don't want to lose this baby. I'm gonna start, let's see. Actually, I don't have to start all the way in the bottom, because that's gonna go inside the pot. Remember that? I'm thinking like this. Something like that. This part should be inside the soil. There's no need, we don't want to put moss there. So this time I didn't do a hole on the pole like I did last time. We drilled a hole, made it easier to kind of just start that fish line there. But right now I'm gonna see if I can just make it easy, simple, where I have to pull out the drill and I can just tangle this in. And don't worry, it doesn't look too pretty at the beginning. because at the end you can shape it and mold it. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, so that looks good for now. We're gonna keep going, okay? Since you have a lot of work to do, we gotta do this quickly. Nobody have time to stay here all night. The sun is setting and it's getting cold. Okay, so this is just, I'm one person and I'm doing it by myself, guys, for now. So obviously I'm outside because it's creating a mess. And see, I'm catching all the extra moss that falls off so that I can always reuse it. It's not falling on the floor. So I'm just going round and round. And like, as you're seeing, it's very uneven, but it's okay. We're gonna work on it later. Right now, we just need one layer of coverage. And some of it's gonna fall off, so I tend to wanna put a little extra. Like here, we're gonna come back to this little spot. So I've actually had my helper here help me, and he's holding the wire or the fish string, and I kind of have been smushing some moss, and then I'm just turning it around. As I shape it with my hands, I turn it, and this has been easier obviously than just one person, so I would totally recommend this. And then we're doing the wire up and down a couple of times. That way it can grab even more that mossy. Right now we're bringing it back down. It's hard to see. I know the string is like very hard to see. We're going to bring it back up. And look how nice. Isn't this nice? So I'm going to grab another piece. First part's always the hardest. We're just getting the first little bit because it tends to fall off. So I grab more. We're gonna shape a little bit, and then we're gonna keep turning. Little by little, you're inching your way up with more and more moss attached. Okay guys, so 40 minutes later approximately, we are done, and I ended up using basically like one baggie of these. I'd used 2 halves basically, and here it is, finishing product. What do you think? Now you can always go back, shape it up a little bit, cut these extra little fish wires. We ended up having to basically wrap around several pieces because we didn't have a one piece that was long enough. But see, you can always go back, squeeze it, shape it, remove excess, whatever you like. And there you go. I'm a 5'3" person, 5 foot 3 inches, and this is probably 6 foot 3 inches, a good foot over me. So that was a big one. If you had to buy these, I don't know if you could buy this. So you might as well make it yourself and make your plant babies happy. So it's getting dark. I'm gonna work on that other project in a bit, and then I'll show you. Might be tomorrow. Okay guys, so next day over, I did the moss pole like I showed you guys. It's right here, and I just got home from work and look what I saw. This has tilted over. It is screaming even more. Mom, if you do not do something, I am gonna die in front of your eyes. So I'm super tired, had a long day of work and plant shopping, but I'm so hungry, doesn't matter. Dinner can wait. This baby needs some help tonight. So we're indoors, and this is usually a very messy job, but it can always be cleaned up. And good thing I have hardwood floors. We can clean this up. So I have my pot ready. I have my soil mixture, which so far right here is just a mix of a soil that I buy in my nursery nearby. So it's just a little better than what you can just get at Lowe's. So it should have a nice mixture in there. So far I've been good using that. I added some perlite here. Guys, look, I do have the earthworm castings that I have not used before, but I'm gonna use it because I finally bought it. I've been using fish emulsion only for my plants and it's been good, but I wouldn't mind mixing something into the soil. So this is organic, and the instructions say to, when you're potting a plant, to apply 1 part of this to 4 parts of potting mix. So I'm thinking I'm gonna use like 2 scoops of this. 1. And 2. And now my little scooper, which guys, I put in the link. Some of you guys have asked me where I got this. I got it from Amazon, and I'm trying to put now links in my descriptions of products that I usually order from Amazon. And I didn't find exactly this one. It seems out of stock, this color, but I put some other ones that seem to be the same thing. Okay. So I try to do maybe 1/3 of perlite. Okay. This is a philodendron, red emerald. So we know that they want very water soil that aerates. So that's why we add the perlite. And I was wondering if to add a little bit of orchid bark. I find that when I have big pots, they don't want to dry that quickly, and then you can get that mold situation growing. So that's why I feel like adding some of this orchid bark can help. And I actually wanted to add a little water to my mixture because you want to avoid that dust going up in the air, and it's actually nicer for the roots if it already has some water when you pot it up. I've been forgetting to do this lately. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it. So guys, I had an awesome day today plant shopping. I actually worked at my regular job, but in my lunch and after work, I had to stop by. I heard there was some restocks by my friends in this area. So I shot a couple of videos that I'll share with you guys later on. Okay, this feels good. It's nice and fluffy, and now it's not so dry. I like this. Okay. Well, let me keep going. I just remembered I put worm castings, so I want to make sure that's equally divided. Even though, I mean, I know you can put worm castings right on top of the soil, like 1/4 of an inch, and then water it if you already have potted your plants. Okay, so there it goes. We're gonna get started. I'm gonna put a little bit of orchid bark in the bottom. There's some holes here, and maybe you can close them up a little bit. This is a recycled pot. It's always good to recycle if you can. And I think it's a perfect size. So see, I just put a thin layer in the bottom because there was these big holes. And yes, we want it to drain out, but I don't want to lose all the soil. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. And we're going to put one thin layer in the bottom. Okay, that's it. Okay, because this is pretty big. Now, this is my biggest repotting project in history, my plant history. So the biggest challenge will be untangling all these roots from this piece of wood because I did a new moss pull. So I'm gonna do this. So what should I do? I'm gonna repot it first, and then I'm gonna work on removing that. So, did I water this recently? I'm not, let me touch it. No, it should be dry, so that's good. Yeah, and it was like soaking up the water quickly. I'm very curious to see the roots. Guys, I'm gonna have to get some help on pulling this baby out. I'll show you the roots in just a moment. Pulling that out was no piece of cake. It was caked in there. Look at the roots. So the roots are thinner than what I would have expected. So there we go. This is how the roots look. And like you can see on the top, they're swirled up on top. So it's time to give this an upsize. And though I had watered it not too long ago, so that made it a little bit more difficult. So I'm wondering if I should mess with the roots, but I don't think so because it's been so happy in the soil. It hasn't been a problem for it. So I don't feel like I have to take off all of this soil. And this is the soil that came in from the nursery, but it's been so happy, had no pests. It keeps growing and growing. So then I'm okay with this, keeping the soil. So now let's put this baby down because she's heavy. Okay, see how you can tell, how you can see it's higher. So that means I'm gonna have to take off some of the soil. Because I need to go lower down. Okay guys, so she's in. She's still a little higher up. Then now we're gonna give her a wider pot, but it's not as tall as the other one she had. But I think we're gonna loosen up a little bit. And after I take out this pole or stake, then maybe I can wiggle it in even more down. But it's still an upgrade and upsize. So let's fill it up with some soil. Is she in the middle? I think so. Oh, and then I have to think about where I'm gonna put that new pole. Well, it should be in the middle like this one was, but I don't want to hurt its roots, and now the new one is round. So what do you guys think? Okay, so we are gonna start with our new addition of soil. What a mess, what a mess, what a pretty nice mess I'm making with all this soil. Good thing there's a broom and we can pick this up. Okay, so next step. I've put in semi-soil, not 100%, but I did put some soil in there. So now, next step is, you see there's 4 different red emeralds. See, that's one, that's another, it's another in the back. I got a deal on this plant, I'll tell you that. Remember guys, if you haven't seen my video when I bought this, I paid $35 for this plant. So, for 4 plants, so it wasn't a steal. So now, looking at the way it's hooked to this wood stake, and you see like this, I need to start popping these off. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pull all these, cut these, and then we're gonna pull that wood part out gently. This. Okay, and see the red, these are roots that are actually grabbing on to the pole. So I think I'm gonna spray it with water and then try to pull it out. I don't think this will kill the plant. Absolutely won't kill the plant by taking away some aerial roots. The roots that give it life is down here. So let's see, do we see any more green strings? I don't think so. This is one that I applied. So okay, so now I'm gonna get some help of my hubby so I can pull this out and you know, stabilize the plant a little bit and put the new upgrade. You guys ready to see this? I am. Let's do this. Okay guys, so we have been like just pulling away the aerial roots. They're like fingers wrapping around. But I think we've gotten all the 4 plants loose. So I'm gonna try to pull away. this stake. Okay, do you have a better grip? Oh, some roots did come out, area roots, but it's okay. Okay, so look at the difference between one moss pole and the other. Here we go, exciting moments. Okay, let's find the same spot. Actually, I'm gonna feel, oh yeah, I can feel where the other one was in, and I'm gonna try to open it up. None of this is pretty, guys. I feel like I'm doing surgery. Okay, but it's gotta be done to save its life, you know? I'm hurting it just a little, but I have to do it to save its life. And I'll do it. I'll put my hand in the stomach of this plant. Okay, back to the moss pole. Okay, here we go, moment of truth. Okay, that's good, except that I didn't do enough moss all the way to the bottom, but I can always add to that, so I'm okay with that. So that's it. So now my sticky tabs. Sticky tabs. Okay, guys, the moss pole, the ginormous moss pole is in. So I got the sticky tabs, and we have the tape, and I'm gonna go ahead and measure out and cut a few. And I need something like, I'm gonna do the base first, and I needed a lot for the base because I'm trying to get 4 plants on the base. So we're coming down, and I'm gonna try to grab 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, got them. We're gonna bring this baby over here. Bring this baby over here. Oh man, I didn't. Yeah, I did cut out enough. Good. Okay, yes, we have all 4 plants in, right? Not missing one over there on that side? I think they're all in. Okay, so I'm getting another one. Pretty big, because I'm wrapping around a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna come right over here. Tighten it up a little here. Looks good to me. This VELCRO is sustaining a lot of weight. Okay. And then we're going to come in and just up here. Now, I have 1 plant here, 1 plant there. I want them to be kind of equally spread out. Am I doing it okay? I feel like I have 3 plants on this side. Guess I'll look at it once I'm. So, guys, this is it. She's all taped up with those little Velcros all the way to the top. And that's how she looks. So, as you can see, one of the plants, it's 1 or 2, 2, that are long enough they're making it to the top of the pole. The other 2 stayed short like this. So that's why it looks fuller from here down. But as these grow, they'll fill in that space. So that's cool. So now I'm gonna clean things up and put her in a nice, beautiful basket to show her off in the plant corner. Okay guys, she is back in her place where she's been very happy growing, close to some windows here where it gets light during the day, but it's not direct sunlight. She's been so happy here. So what do you guys think? She's back. Beautiful little basket. The only thing I would have done differently is put a little bit more moss at the bottom. I thought I could go back to it, but I don't think nobody's really going to pay attention to that. So I think I'm probably going to leave it like it is. She has new soil with some worm castings on there. She's going to be happy. And now my question is, these leaves grew quickly in a matter of like 2 months. but then they were small because they didn't have the area roots couldn't hug anything. So I don't know if they're going to grow at this point. I'm going to watch it and see if it grows at this point, if they can now grow bigger, or because they're hardened, maybe they're not going to grow bigger anymore. So if that's the case, where it's not going to grow any bigger, I might just cut from here on and propagate these little pieces, because I wanted to propagate anyhow, and then just let the roots start growing, grabbing on, and the new plant can grow with bigger leaves. That's my philosophy. Obviously the plants already, at least one of them has outgrown the moss pole, but I don't think I'm going to let it grow a lot more than that. So I'll just be propagating, but I just want this to be fully lush. So yeah, this is my beautiful baby red emerald. If you guys see one of these, I recommend them because they're not that expensive. And they are fast growers or easy growers. They grow upright, so they're good because they don't take up as much space because they grow upright versus plants that grow horizontally. And I think you guys are going to be happy with one of these. And the stems are red, the leaf. Oh, and let me show you the back of it. So see the vein? Look how it's satiny, and look how it's reddish. Look at that veining. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. Like, I want to hug her. I want to hug my giant baby. Yeah, so she's been doing good. I think I sprayed her down with Neem Oil when I just bought her, and that was last summer. And after that, I have not seen any kind of pest on her, so I don't think she attracts much pest. So yeah, she's been very easy. So thank you for coming along for this big old project that I think came out pretty good. Again, what I used was a PVC pipe, and you guys can find different widths according to what you want. I got it at Lowe's. It was about $7, and it was longer than this. I've already cut and used it for other moss poles, so the investment is very minimal. And then I used about $5 of sphagnum moss. So that's it. My little stickies that were $3, and I've been using them for a million projects. So this was a very cheap way to do your own giant moss pole that I don't think you could find anywhere else. So that's it. I'll leave you with this beautiful beauty. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you like this kind of content. I'm just sharing with you my plant world, my plant journey. I'm still learning, but I'm addicted. I love plants, and so far so good. They're doing pretty good, and I'll keep sharing any tips or advices that I can with you guys, and you guys share with me. We keep learning together. Thanks for watching. Bye.